Jason Nichols. We were just doing a Saturday night bullshit bag. Got a whole bag of shit. Just decided to shoot the shit.
Big old
So,
shit.
Jason, welcome.
Welcome, Rob.
Yeah, we had a bit of a false start where we thought we were doing the show and we looked up and it wasn't live at all. So that's on me. It's on me. Um, but you know how we begin every show, dude.
Yes, sir. What?
Welcome to the Two Bros Show. Here's your host, Rob Staggenborg, with co-host Jason Nichols. Let's go to the studio.
Wolverine!
Saturday night, Jason.
Saturday Night Bullshit Fest. If you see me smoking cigarettes and drinking beer, kids, sorry. I'm
Well,
off
I
tomorrow.
see you reading my goddamn book. That's what I like to see.
Oh, yeah, I fixed that. Holly fixed that mirror thing for me.
I love it.
I've traded off.
My mirror's
Hell
working
yeah.
too.
I've traded off communications management to Holly because
Okay.
let's just talk about that later.
She's better. She's probably way better at it, I'm sure.
I know. Oh, that shadow in the window is our cat's tail because she wants to
Okay.
eat something outside, and we're not letting her out at this current time because we know when she's wired and ready to attack.
Dude, that's interesting you said it. So we have a couple neighbors, and the neighbor cats were fucking going fucking ape shit tonight. Like, what's going on with cats? Since it's October, and all of a sudden they're going ape shit, I think.
That's funny because our cat's black. Everybody thinks, "Oh my God, she got a black cat." And I'm like, first of all, that's bullshit. And second, she has a white dot on her throat you can't see. Oh, there she is.
Wow.
There's BG.
Nice, nice. Well, hey, listen, tonight was going to be just kind of a bullshitter show. So the one thing I want to talk to you about, and we were going to talk to, so last night we had all kinds of problems. Boy, imagine that, this show having fucking problems. Well, we had problems last night with our guest, and we couldn't really connect. And the whole show was supposed to be about like, we were talking about old monsters and movie monsters and things like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
thing that really screwed the whole thing up was that we were also going to talk about like current movies and things that are out now. And
Yeah.
one thing that our guest Chris, and I think he's going to try to come back next weekend. We're going to try to work that. I got to talk to you offline about that, Jason. But the thing I wanted to talk to him about was the remake of the Munsters.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, like, I used to watch the Munsters all the time. Like, it was one of those things after school. It was on. You just watch the Munsters. So, apparently there was word that Rob Zombie, the old rocker heavy metal guy Rob Zombie, he's
Yeah.
a horror film director, and he took on this project of doing the Munsters. Like I was like, yeah, that's freaking awesome. So
Yeah.
Jason and I were talking about it, and Jason was like, well, man, my brother is like huge in the Munsters. I was like, really? So what were you telling me about that, Jason?
My brother Richie, he's like, he doesn't have much, but he's got like a little mural in his in a room with just monster stuff collected from probably man. When did they start?
Well, they started what in the late '60s, I guess, '70s maybe.
Yeah, he's got it from back then. Little
Wow.
stuff like little
So
cars and
and we're
little.
talking about the Munsters with
Mhm.
Fred Gwynn and Al Lewis and Yvonne DiCarlo, the old black and white TV show. Butch Patrick was in there too.
Yeah,
Not Monsters, which was the cartoon, the animated cartoon
yeah.
that Pixar did. So Munsters. So your brother has like models and all kinds of memorabilia. What was it about that movie, or about that whole TV franchise?
I believe he fell in love with um Fred Munster's attitude. I'm not sure. I mean, he's just this. My brother's like the nicest person in the world, and I thought I was, but no, he's nicer. I mean, he's nicer.
Sure.
It's
Well,
just like fell in love with that. I don't know if that's. I mean, I watched the Munsters, but I'm thinking that has to be what it is because I always remember Fred. His name was Fred, right?
Yeah. Fred Munster. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I never remembering him have an angry moment. Like maybe once in a while, but like he was always like just a goofy, loving person. And
Yeah.
I feel like
Things always happen to him. Like he didn't actually cause the destruction. It's like he'd
exactly.
get in a car and the car would like go through the wall or something like that. You know.
Yeah, this is totally unscripted, bro, because I have never spoke to my brother Rich about this.
Uh,
But when you asked me, I thought about why would he like him so much? And then I realized because he's just like that.
Dude, it was on like so after school there was like a series of like black and white 70s 60s sitcoms, you know what I mean, like McHale's Navy, Gilligan's Island,
Yeah.
that show. So they were just on back to back back back. So again, this is telling people how old we are. That was before cable. Ooh, we had like four channels is all we had, and
Yeah.
the one channel was a shit channel that all they played was like Three Stooges and Bugs Bunny and
Yep.
it was but everybody watched it, and it was like we became like freaking like intimate with these characters. So like my point is like Fred Munster, like he's known as Fred Munster, but the actor who played Fred Munster is Fred Gwynn, and he is like a huge Hollywood actor. He was in My Cousin Vinny. He was the judge in My Cousin Vinny. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He oh man, he made that movie work. That was a great movie.
I always like to know the story, like what, like he was kind of more of a serious kind of actor. Why did he choose to take on that role? Because it's been like that's all he's known for now is this Herman Munster role.
I don't know because you said serious kind of actor. I'm thinking he was a comedy guy, and then in my cousin Benny, he went strict, and it was just like it was a turn for me because I hadn't seen him since the Munsters because I
Mhm.
didn't see him in any other movies, and then my cousin Benny. Now I see Herman, or is it Herman? Fred.
It was Herman Munster. We said Fred.
Ah, we're stupid people.
That's what it is, Herman Munster.
See, we don't got our guys on. We don't have Richie, and we don't have the guy that was on last night.
Chris Red. Herman Munster. Of course, it was Herman Munster.
But oh my gosh, I remembered it. But anyway, drugs are bad, kids. Okay, just kidding. But no, for real. And my cousin Benny, he was a totally different person.
Well,
He
yeah,
was like a strict judge.
but see that apparently was the type of character or the type of actor he always was. So
But
apparently, before he got in these sitcoms, he was like in a bunch of like serious movies in the 50s and 60s. Apparently, so
really,
I haven't done a whole lot of research on his career, but he was very well known in that. But he made his mark as a comic actor. You know what I mean? But he's actually a very serious actor. It's crazy.
man. Now I'm gonna be people. You know what Rob just did to me.
I blew his mind.
Now I have to get on Google when the show's over, and I gotta look up movies that he was in prior to the Munsters.
Well,
And
he
then
was
I'm
on
gonna freaking watch them.
well, there was a show called Car 54. Where are you? And I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
But
I
I
have.
know it was like he was the star of that show.
I have it. I don't remember him in it. That's how weird that is to me. I used to watch it on
He
Nick
was
at
like
Night.
a police officer or something. Or again, I don't even know the premise of the show.
If anybody's watching, was that show on Nick at Night, like Nickelodeon, Nick at Night? I'm pretty sure it was. I used to watch that.
Jason, did you comment on the own show on YouTube? You whore!
I'm just
What
seeing.
a baiting whore trying to promote our show. You whore!
I was
I
just
love it,
trying
though.
to see if anybody was watching.
I love it. I love the strategy, but That's awesome. So
The only person that's watching the live is you, Dad.
you know what?
Share it.
Here's the thing. We just keep racking up those hours of programming. That's
How do
what
we
we're trying
share
to do,
this?
dude.
How do we share
What
this?
if they're not?
Share it.
I don't know how.
Figure it out. Communications
know
manager.
how.
Okay. Rob called TJ. He's rehired.
TJ, what's going on there? Or can we talk about it?
And
We'll
he-
talk about it later.
I didn't. Yeah.
We'll just talk about it later, man.
Yeah, as soon as the show's over, I'll tell you.
Yeah. But you know what?
What's up?
We were talking about Herman Munster, and I got kind of a part two that I want to talk about this, but we're going to go ahead and roll a couple promos, and then we'll get back to this discussion. Okay, folks?
Alrighty, buddy.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the Two Bros Show. I got my partner Jason off screen right now doing some illegal activities. Ooh. And I think I'm going to bring him back in because he looks like he's ready. You criminal. You son of a bitch criminal.
Drinking's not illegal, folks.
It ain't illegal. It ain't illegal at all. So, a couple things before we get back to our discussion about the Munsters, because we have kind of part two, talked about the show and how popular it was, and that your brother is a collector of the Munsters. So, again, I always thought that was a really cool show. So, but before we jump into that, I also just want to kind of remind folks. So, again, we've been doing this show about 2-3 weeks. We're really learning a lot about how to share things and notifications. And so right now things are like, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. We're like, it's driving us fucking fruit. Okay. We're
Yes.
trying to figure it out. So we really appreciate your patience. But once we kind of get it all figured out, dude, I mean, that's what I was telling Jason. Once we get the show like lock, sought, and like really steady the way we want it, we're rolling this out to some sponsors. We got a couple people that we're going to talk to about it, and try to bring on some people to help us bring the message out to everyone. You know, because again, what we're trying to do is build this community of like-minded people who want to do better, who want to promote positivity. So, also just want to encourage people just to kind of keep up with us. You know, we're on Facebook. We have a Facebook group called the Two Bros Show. No, excuse me, the new Two Bros Show. Then we have a page called the Two Bro Show. Wow, how fucking confusing could that be? Well, it is
It's
because
fair.
the page was originally created with a whole different sort of concept. So then when I created this group as somebody that we could share content and stuff like that, things kind of get crossed over. So I'm trying to, where I can, figure out how to just cross promote it. And then eventually one of them will just kind of disappear and we'll just have one stream. So just that's what I understand the method be. I hate to like delete the account because once I do that, then it's like we're starting over from scratch. So, Jason, I get it. That's the thing that we have to work on. And the one thing I'll just say is like, if there's anybody out there that catches the show that has any expertise in this area, I'd be interested in talking to them because we want the show to really work on all the social media levels. We don't really have a lot of expertise in that area. I know there are a lot of people that do. They're really good at that. So I just want to put an appeal out that there's anyone that wants, maybe pick up a couple extra bucks, some spending money, some beer money. We want to talk to them because we want the show to be, we want it to be out there. We want people to connect to it. Jason, you were just telling us today, it's like, people are having a hard time finding the show, and that just bums me out because we put so much time and effort into it. So that's the problem we got to get worked out.
Yeah, we just want to help people, man. That's what we're trying to do here, and we just need to figure out a way to get it out, share it. So
the whole thing started with, I used to be on different podcasts, and Jason, would call in or whatever, and we got to know each other there, and we just started just talking offline, just as friends. And as we kind of start to talk, and we were like, man, we ought to just like why don't we start a show? Because it's like we just have so much fun talking to each other, and we're giving each other shit and talking about things in the news. We're like, hey man, let's put the show together. So it's like, oh, the age of podcasters, like everybody's doing a podcast. But I'll tell you what, there's some things that are really hard to figure out if you've never done it before. So you know what, we hate being rank amateurs, but hey, we're going to admit it. We're trying to get there. We've improved the graphics. We brought in some videos. We got a good stream going. So, you know what? We'll get there, man. We're bringing in guests. So, every show we want to be better. And I think, I speak for Jason. That's our goal. Is just every day be better, and just in life, on the show, as role models, as people who, you can look up to. So I'll shut up for a while, Jason. You take it over, man.
no, I agree completely. We just want. How do I say this? We don't want to be like bad media. And by the way, I got a surprise for you. We don't want to be like bad media and bring in people with lies and false hope. We're just doing comedy and like talking to people and just trying to make people laugh, because if you don't laugh, it just kills you inside. It's depressing. Laughter can change your world. But what we really are doing is we're reeling you in a little bit, just a little bit, so that we can explain to you how life is okay and it's good, and you don't have to worry every day, and everything's going to be okay. I mean, we got to have a way to get you to listen. And we're comedians, so we use that to bring you so that we can tell you that life's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's our attention getter. It's like we're not going to put up, a bunch of like what was the Faces of Death video where they had like people beating up monkeys and shit. Like we're not there. Like that's not us. But we're just using like stupid shit we find on the internet because again, Jason and I, we were able to spend a lot of time on the internet, and the things that we find are just like crazy, stupid. Some of it's funny, some of it's inspirational. So we just want to be able to kind of have a place to share it with folks, so that they,
It's crazy. It's crazy the stuff you see. Like Larry, if you're watching, Larry Horsemeyer, he posts some good stuff, and he's a really awesome guy. He's like a big teddy bear. It's crazy, and he just loves to make people laugh, and he doesn't even want me to tag him in the stuff that I share that he posts. He just loves to make people laugh. No,
he's embarrassed.
No, he don't want to. He doesn't care. I mean, he doesn't want. He doesn't want the publicity, or he doesn't want the rewards. He just likes to make people laugh. He's a really good person, and I feel like that's what we need. We need people. Everybody, if you know somebody like that, just share this with them. because that's what this is about. We just want to make people laugh and love and learn and live. That's
Yeah,
it.
Jason and I have both been through a lot of shit in our lives, to be honest with you, good, bad, and terrible. And we've been able to survive and get through it. So, I usually say this toward the end of the show, but I mean, we'll jump into it right now. Every show, we always make a plea that if, you're in the position where you're feeling fucked up in the head, your head's racing and you can't get control of it and you feel like you might hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, reach out to us, dude. Get in the fucking chat line right now.
Yes.
Call 888. That's the National Suicide Hotline number. We don't want to lose one motherfucker. We don't. It's like, shit, we'll be your friends. Like, if you don't have any friends in life and you're feeling low, fucking call us. Like, we're losers. We get it. But we're impressive losers. And we have a podcast. No, but the thing is that we really take this to heart because we've seen too many people suffer with just debilitating mental illness, and it overtakes them, and it takes them to places that are not healthy for them or their families. So, the thing is that it's got to be you to reach out because no one can make you do that. It's like you have to come to a realization in your heart. This is not the way I want to live my life or end my life.
Yeah.
This is not the way I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, we said in the promo, I mean, you're loved, you're cherished. We cherish you. We love you. We feel like, you know what? You're part of what we are trying to do in America about move positivity, move funny, get people fucking laughing. You know what? We're not trying to get political on the show, which I know I'm the one that does. I yell at Jason, but I'm the one that always does. It's usually about something ridiculous. But the point is like, we've been there and we've had nobody to fucking turn to. We had to pull ourselves out by our own bootstraps or had family members or loved ones do that for us. It happens and it's humbling. It's like, oh my God, like I got a big lump in my throat even just talking about it, but people care about you more than they'll even ever tell you. So, Jason, I'll turn it over to you. I know you like to jump in on this too.
Yes. That lump in your throat is because everybody thinks they can probably do something alone, but I'm here to tell you you cannot. Whether it's addiction, whether it's anything like that, you may think you got it licked alone, but if you don't have support, you are not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You got to find people. You got to be around people that support you, and that's what we're here for, basically. And I mean, you just gotta. I know it's hard. It's hard to admit something's wrong, but you just gotta do it. You don't want to hurt you, nobody else. You don't want to leave your family members worrying about something. If you kill yourself, that's just your family members are left behind and they're hurting and pain. And suicide's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You just can't do that because there's somebody that will help you no matter what. Don't worry about making that phone call. You're not going to go to jail. You may go sit in a little hospital for a day or two or three, and you'll be back home. Your insurance isn't going to cover more than 3 days, but they will help you. They will talk to you. They will find out what's wrong. It's not like they're going to lock you up in a mental ward. They're just going to talk to you. Maybe you need some medicine. Maybe you need just a little bit of something. And I will say, don't ever just accept a first opinion for medicine. We'll talk about that later, but you need to know who you're talking to when you take medicine. But just we're here. Dial the number. Is it 888?
888.
Yeah,
Easy to remember.
Yeah, that is damn easy. Infinity, 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 and we go beyond in love.
And that also reminds me. So, one of the big issues with veterans is veteran suicide. So I really want to, put a special focus because again, I served. I'm very proud of my service. I'm very proud to have served in the Army. But I know a lot of guys are hurting because of situations they've been in, or maybe mind games have been played, or a lot of things have happened. Maybe they were pulled into a situation they had no business really not being emotionally prepared for, and all of a sudden they had to pull out this sort of order. So a lot of things can go crazy in the military and really kind of fuck up your head a little bit. So I want to, definitely reach out to the veterans out there and know that there's a lot of resources out there. If you're going to the VA, I'm sure they always ask you, do you have feelings of harm, of hurting yourself or hurting others? And that's because people care about you. People want to make sure that you're taken care of because you served. So again, I just want to, and then also using that as a segue to say, we do have some special things planned in November for Veterans Day with our show. We'll get into that a little bit longer. I know Jason and I have to kind of iron out some details, but again, whatever you're struggling with, a veteran or not, just there's resources out there and they're there for you. So
Yeah,
kind of ended on that, man.
they're everywhere.
Yeah.
There's resources everywhere. Man, I don't know, man. I'm just like I'm stuck on the love thing, but
I think that everybody in America is really tuned into mental health right now, and they really understand that people are suffering or having issues with their mental health. So, there are resources out there, and don't be afraid to use them because that's what they're there for. So, Jason, before we took out this big break and stuff, we were talking about the Munsters,
yeah,
the TV show from the 50s, 60s, I'm sorry, the 60s,
yeah.
black and white with Herman Munster. We had his name wrong. We called him Fred Munster, but it's Herman Munster.
I did that.
Um, so the reason why we're kind of bringing this up is that um, Rob Zombie, the heavy metal singers, he's also a film director, and
Mhm.
he's done I think he did like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's done like remakes,
Yeah,
and he was tapped to do the remake of the Munsters.
I know,
I
right?
thought that's like fabulous, like that's awesome. You know what I mean?
I know.
So, like I said today, earlier in the segment, I said I was in Target. Of all places, I looked on the movie, just passing by, I looked at the movies, I see the Munsters. I was like, what? Like, did it go straight to DVD?
I
And I'm thinking
know.
now, I'm like, wait a minute, now that's a movie that normally in a Halloween season would get top rating. They'd be all over it. But man, that just tells you the sad state of the movie industry. It's
Uh,
dead.
you're right because next week I have to house sit because my brother and sister are leaving, and they are going to watch that with my nephew and his wife at the theater where they live.
Hmm.
It's in the theater there, but I ain't heard anything about it. Sorry for the hillbilly
Yeah.
Illinois who ain't, but that's me. Anyway, I ain't heard nothing about it in the theater.
You have not heard anything about it.
No, sir, governor.
Then your governor. Well, anyway, so it was just kind of surprising that like a movie that was directed by Rob Zombie, total like headline appeal. Like you would think that they would be like all about promoting that, and I didn't
Yeah,
see any of that.
I did everywhere, but then nothing. Why didn't it hit theaters?
Well, I think they promoted like the Addams Family, the cartoon, way more than promoted the Munsters.
Oh, it's probably just because it's Rob Zombie.
Well, I'm actually just wondering, like, when was the movie actually released? That's the other thing I need to figure out.
I didn't even think it was coming out.
It is, dude.
No, I meant you when you texted me from Target, I was shocked because you didn't even think it was out in the theaters yet, right? I didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
When did this happen? I haven't seen anything on the news. Nothing.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything either.
I saw a promo for it for months ago, but it
Okay.
wasn't supposed to be out yet, as far as I knew.
Huh. Well, let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can actually play this promo.
Sweet.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's see if we can do this here. Let's just run this live producer. I'm gonna share my screener. That's how I do that.
Look at my flappy ear. What wrong one? Mirror.
Here, a second. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, sir. That's messed up. Yep, that's definitely the new movie. Yeah, that's the new movie. You know you bought me that. I know you did. I'm just kidding. If you did, I was going to give it to my brother. I can't hear that, Rob. I hear something, but I'm watching it though. The video I can see. Oh, you know who that was? That was the dude from Ridiculous Six. That guy.
Wow. So that was it, dude. That was it.
I didn't hear. We couldn't hear the sound. We could just hear a little bit of it, but it's okay. We could watch the video, and you know who that big, heavy-looking dude was with the brown curly hair? Hmm.
Hold on.
All right.
The second video was playing. It was kind of a weird thing, so we'll get rid of this thing. But anyways, I'm sorry you couldn't hear the freaking the sound. But anyway, that was it.
That's real. That's a real movie.
But so they made it more of a love story between Herman Munster and what I Lily Munster. I call her, or Yvonne DiCarlo, who it is.
But still, that's the real movie. I did not. I never knew it came out yet.
Well, apparently it was just released on the 27th, which was just last week. But again, it didn't go into the theaters at all. Like, that was kind of weird.
I know it's in one now because they're watching it next weekend, but I haven't heard of it hitting any theaters yet.
But again, like, it just goes, for me, it goes to the days of, like, the Hollywood blockbusters. Remember, like, the July 4th weekend was always huge with movies. And then right before, right around Labor Day, there's always, like, huge movies that came out, And
Mm-hmm.
those days are kind of over. They're not really releasing these huge mega movies, I think they're
No,
doing Avatar 2, I think, is coming out.
well, that'll take over the world. But
I didn't care for that movie myself, but
well, it was the only thing. That movie was weird. It had great graphics and stuff, but
Mhm.
it had a thing about it, like almost a implication of sex that was never going to happen. And
Yeah.
I think that has something to do with. Oh, I hope I don't piss nobody off. I think that has something to do with the way media is um, showing stuff now, like with anime and that kind of stuff. Anime steers towards that sexual stuff, and
Oh yeah.
it's just so weird, bro. I think that Avatar had a little bit of that in it. It was like a tease, and I wouldn't be surprised if you saw more in the next one like that, because that's just the way the media works. And I was gonna save this for the another part of the show, but I will. I'll let this go.
Well, we're gonna close up the old Munster segment. If anyone's seen the show, we definitely would love to hear what your take on it is, and hopefully, Jason, your brother, will be able to come on one day. We kind of talk a little bit about the show and a little bit more depth. Love to have him on and talk about the show because I love the show. You know what I mean? And then a couple other features we're going to be talking about. Jason has talked about doing is maybe every week doing a little bit of a segment where we do a little bit of a quiz show, asking some rock and roll questions about culture. I know our assistant Holly has come up with some great questions, and we've had a lot of fun the past couple nights answering some of these trivia questions, and they're pretty. Some of them are pretty weird. Like who was the other guy in Wham? George Michael and like,
I
like
know, right?
Frankie
Rob,
Goes to Hollywood. Who was in Frankie Goes to Hollywood? You're like, don't know. So anyway, some of the questions are really kind of difficult. So we'll have some fun with that. Probably next week when we actually do a show that's scripted, we'll lay out some things and we'll see if Jason and I, who gets the highest score, we'll go through that. So, but Jason, we're going to close out the thing on the Munsters. We're going to go take a real quick trip. So hold on for a second, buddy. Rob Staggenborg here. I am co-host of the TwoBrosShow. What?
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Your organization's terrible. Let's go.
All right, buddy. It's Staggenborg in time. So, I posted something the other day.
Yeah.
It maybe even was like yesterday, maybe even. I posted it all fucking day. So it was about the wormhole called the internet. And you get like into these things and you hit one link and then your video's okay. Then you watch another video. Oh, well, 16 reasons why, How I Married an Ex-Murderer was the best movie ever. Like, oh, shoot, I'm on that. So, like, it's designed to like freaking suck you in.
Yeah.
So, dude, where I've been getting totally sucked in lately is in the comment sections of just whatever various shit that people post.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like brutal, some of the things that people say to each other.
You are a mind reader.
I am.
Bro, people...
But,
if you're watching this live or if you watch this later, this happens every damn show.
Mm.
You totally know what I'm going to do.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, you do. Just keep going. Just keep talking and I'll...
Well, no, I mean, my whole point is like, so there's actually a service, and I don't know if I should even really say their name, but I kind of have to say the name so you get the idea. So it's actually a website called bagadicks.com. And it's basically like you could send a little bag of gummy like gels shaped like penises.
Yeah.
You send them to people you hate or whatever. Okay, whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. I don't know. I don't waste $40 to send a bag of dicks to somebody. Although I know plenty of people, especially an Irishman I know, who I would send a bag of dicks very quickly. But we'll say that for another show.
Well,
so
anyway, wait. One thing real quick. Are these just gummy dicks or are they THC gummy dicks?
No, they're not THC gummy dicks. Just gummy dicks.
No. Okay, I don't want those. Okay.
Now apparently there's also a version that's like one of these things that as soon as you open it like explode, like not explodes like a BOBMB, but like confetti in the air, and all the confettis are shaped like little dicks.
Nice.
So like people get like cock sprayed up in their face and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, okay, I mean, people make money on the internet, whatever. I don't know that would have been my thing, but okay, give them points for being somewhat clever. Bag of dicks, Well, I made the mistake, dude, of going into the comment section. Oh, there are people who were very upset that they had a bag of dicks sent to them. Let's just say that they wanted to know who was in charge of the company, how did they're going to file a complaint with HR. They should be ashamed of themselves. They have never been so insulted in all their lives when they open up a package that contained a bag of phalluses. And I just I just pissed myself laughing. I'm like, if you're going to take the time to write a letter to a website called dicksbymail.com, you don't expect much.
No, don't expect much.
I mean, they're dicks. The people that are dicks, okay, they're not going to fucking be cool. They're dicks.
Yeah.
So if you are with dicksbymail.com, again, we're open to sponsorship. We'd love to talk with you. This would be a perfect show for you guys to fucking do it.
Oh, yeah, just come on.
Is there a better show for them? Dicksbymail.com to go. Even though, I don't condone that behavior, I would never do it. Although I did consider, and how I freaking learned about this, that there was one person, and I won't say their name. It's not anybody that you think. It's nobody that you know at all. One person who I've had I had some dealings with when I first got here to Oregon. And yeah, I would like to send him a bag of dicks.
Sweet.
It took everything within my power not to do that.
Yeah.
But because there could be some legal stuff down the road, I opted to take the high road.
The high road.
So, but going back to the whole thing, I was like, so if you're like so offended that you like show up to work and someone sends you a bag of dicks, okay, first of all, I would laugh it off. Like, it's clever. It's kind of funny. Hey, you want some gummy dicks? Here, or just throw the shit away, whatever, move on with your day.
Dude,
But no, these people get so pissed they write letters to the company. I demand to know who's behind this, who's your CEO. I plan to bring harassment charges. One lady claimed that she was being sexually harassed by these dicks by mail people.
bro, first of all, the company didn't send them to the people. Somebody else did. So they should call somebody else, not the company.
You think?
First of all, they should call the person that sent them to them. Second, and then someone else, law enforcement, which that ain't gonna help because it's a freaking joke. People
I know,
are
but like,
strange.
can you imagine that call coming in the police department and the police, okay, we got a big investigation down at Citicorp. The second level mid manager of the paperclip division received a bag of dicks, and we're gonna find out who did this heinous crime. No,
They're like
laughing.
dicks, actual dicks. No, gummy dicks. Well, then what the fucking problem? It's just candy.
But it's a
Eat
joke.
a dick.
It's a joke, and people really are like offended by this.
I know.
Like,
it's
stupid. Kind of part of the territory, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, excuse me. A couple other people that I've been, again, like I said, I've been going down the wormhole of the Facebook watch button. There's a little watch thing, and you can just watch video after video after video. And I've just been watching a lot of great videos that have really been really interesting. So, Jason, the one I want to tell you about was,
I got a bad feeling, people.
What's
Keep going. I just was telling the viewers I got a bad feeling. Keep going.
No. And again, I don't want to like that. If you have something to say, go ahead. I'll shut up for a while, let you jump in. I don't want to.
No. I want you to keep going with this story. I'm just telling them that I don't feel like this is going to be a nice story.
It was a story by this a group called, I think it's called, like, I forget the name of the website, whatever. But anyway, I think the guys are actually really good. Like, they do a good job like investigating these stories. And the guy did this big, like, 13-minute segment on the show called The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
So you've heard of that show?
Oh, I love that show.
Do you love that show?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I don't.
You're weird.
I've been made fun of because of that, exactly that, for that same reason. So here's what this was fascinating. That this guy they did this whole thing about people like Big Bang Theory because they think it's about science, but the science isn't even real. The shit that they say is just gibberish. It's not real science. And real scientists are pissed off because they're like, well, wait a minute. If you just make it up, then all of a sudden that becomes the science that people believe, and they don't believe the real science anymore.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but it's just
and that the jokes aren't very well written because they're just lazy jokes. They're like Sheldon will say, that reminds me of the time when I was taking a bath and I was measuring the submersion circumference of the plug-in against the hyperthermic force of the plug in the thing. And it's
what
like,
the fuck?
that's really funny, but that doesn't mean anything. That's just a bunch of bullshit. He's just fucking gobbledygook together. And that's what this guy was saying. It's like people think it's funny because they think it's like it's a science. They think it's funny. But if you really know science, you're like, well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, okay, I can understand an actual scientist not liking the show, but the show ain't about science. It's about comedy and the blonde. That's all the show's about, guys and gals. That's all it's about. It's about comedy and the blonde. That's all it's about. That's all it is. Oh,
So,
wow. You knew
I
where I
don't,
was going to go later.
I don't, it's not my thing, dude. I can't do it. I can't suspend belief like that. I just feel like, okay, so they're supposed to be like celebrating the nerd culture, like supposed to be, yay, nerd, geeks, comic books and all that, but like they're not authentic. You know what I mean? I think they'd do a better
Bro,
job if they were authentic, and they're just over the top with the way they
I
act.
got one word for you.
What? Bazinga? Fuck off.
Star Trek.
Star Trooper?
Star Trek.
Oh, I don't watch Star Trek at all.
No, because yes, the space technology might be real and might be happening, but Spock's ears weren't. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying the Big Bang Theory is a comedy, and it really pitted Christianity against other people because I don't know if we can talk about this, but it really did, bro. There's people that won't watch that show because it says Big Bang Theory.
Oh, because of the evolution. And all
Three
that. Yeah,
friggin' words. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got you on that. But I mean, Sheldon's a douche. I fucking hate that dude. He's
But
not
he's
funny.
funny.
He's not funny.
He is
Kaylee
funny.
Coco's, attractive, but not any more than half the other women on TV. Okay? Johnny Garecki, he was way better in freaking Christmas Vacation.
Which one's Johnny Garecki?
He's the guy with the glasses and the curly hair and stuff. I don't know what his name on the show is. Waldo or Waldman, or I don't know.
Waldo.
Who are the characters on the show? I don't even fucking know, dude.
I don't watch it that much.
He's one of the main characters, dude. He's Sheldon's sidekick. Who is it?
He don't have
Not
long curly hair.
Not the Indian guy, but the other guy. What's his name?
He just has a bowl cut, not long hair.
Oh, I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about the other guy.
Are you talking about Adam Kutcher? Wait.
No.
That's
No.
okay.
I'm going to reach 2,000 miles across the fucking United States, strangle you and slap you silly, bitch.
I just spoke of that 70s show, which was one of those.
That wasn't the same show. Different show.
I know. I said Adam Kutcher. That's why I said that. Anyway.
Who is the third guy? What was his name in the show? I can't think of his name. There's Sheldon. Then there's like the Pakistani guy. I don't know what his name is. And then who's the third guy who dated the blonde?
Eric.
Was it Eric? Oh.
Yeah, but he didn't have curly hair.
Dude, I'm sick of this, man. I'm not fucking big.
No, people are gonna love this, dude. This is two guys just fucking bullshit.
Johnny Galecki played. What did he play? He played Leonard.
Yeah.
Leonard is brown hair, bowl cut. He don't have curly hair.
I don't know, dude. Well, he was in Roseanne for a while. Did you know that? Christmas Vacation.
No,
you know what he did last summer?
No. I didn't know that. None of that.
We'll see what he's playing here. He was estimated the second highest paid male TV actor, only behind Jim Parsons, his co-star. He earned $25 million. Man, that dude made money. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Bro, honestly, people, if you're watching, what I'm trying to do is help all of you and use Rob's show so that someone just picks me up, puts me in a movie.
Nice.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. And if that ever happened, you know I'd give you half of anything I made. So.
There you go. Well, anyway, I just was watching this thing. It was really fascinating about how, like scientists are like, wait a minute, if you just are making up the science, then eventually people are going to be like, oh, well, we're going to just believe that version instead of the real version. And
Yeah.
so it really did a disservice to scientists all over. So it was a really good thing. I shared it on my Facebook page. Rob Staggenborg showed it. I think I shared it on the Two Bros Show. Check it out. It's a pretty good little watch. So just been enjoying these little trips down the old wormhole, man.
Yeah, those trips are weird.
But they're, you know what the thing is? Like I watched another one today. It was
They're
about an attorney. This guy called Legal Eagle, and he did this whole thing on. He broke down from a lawyer standpoint the whole Alex Jones trial fiasco and how that all went. And he just like was really, really interesting to see how many times that defense stepped on its dick regularly and made fools of themselves, and to the point where the judge at one point we're going to try to get them both of them disbarred because they were so unethical. So it was just crazy, dude. It's like people know about Alex Jones, but they don't ever hear the
you
other
got
story.
you got to send me that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, man. But it was pretty good. So again, like I said, if you guys have something that you find that you love to share with us, we'll share it on the show page, man. We'll share it out. Also, just want to let folks know too that you know we talked about our kind of our reason for doing this is to help people. So I want to let you guys know the TwoBrosShow.com, the website's filled with tons of articles that are kind of aimed for self-help, aimed for guys who maybe are going through a breakup or people who are just trying to kind of find their way in life and find out where they are in life. So,
Yeah.
you know, we did a toxic, a guide to toxic relationships. Like, how do you know if you're in a toxic relationship and what to do if you are? So, I want you definitely to check out the TwoBrosShow.com website because, again, we talk a lot of funny shit. We do a bunch of stupid, ignorant stuff, but it really goes back to trying to help people. And that's what the website's about. And that's
Yes.
where a lot of our content to help you is located.
Yes, it is. It's all
All
on
right,
the.
Jason, before we do your part, because you said you had something for me, I got to play something, okay?
What's that?
It's this. Something was messed up. The blood didn't appear on that one. Remember we have one with the blood that goes.
Did you see it? Oh, Holly didn't see it either.
Let's roll again. One more time. We're gonna do. Oh, we lost our blood. We lost our blood. Anyway, well, Jason, this
Well,
is your big moment.
At least I didn't die in that clip. From a
Big
nerd.
moment, Jason's world. You said you had something for me, man.
Jason's World. Jason's World. Dude's Guide to Relationships by Rob Staggenborg.
Oh.
Well, see, I haven't had time to go through a lot, so I'm just going to skip to this part because written for
I'm
and
gonna give you the whole script.
written for and dedicated to every broken down loser who just needs a break in life. And the reason I did this is because I needed a friend. And I'm going to go back to the first page of this book. Jason, thank you for being such a great friend, Rob. So I want you guys to check this book out. I am not on. What happened?
I just put you back on. You were on, and I heard the whole thing.
Oh, all right. Anyway.
I think the screen might be frozen on this little preview, but anyway.
And also, what I was going to tell you about, Jason's World is always wild. And I have an idea, and I haven't told you this yet, but I'm going to start doing some research about how media has changed the world for the worst.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's going to this ain't got nothing to do with us, people. We're not out here to hurt you. This is about how we went from TV to cable, and we were still okay. But once we had smartphones, everything changed
Mhm.
because now not only can you see something, you can instantly share it all over the world. And
Yep.
that causes panic. It causes just an eruption of thoughts and beliefs that may not be true all over the place. So I'm really going to dig into this, bro. I'm going to dig into this. And I really think I have something here. I really want to let people know how much media affects the world.
Well, dude, that is so crazy that, again, wavelength shit,
I
wavelength
know.
shit,
I know.
because
That's what I told you earlier when you
you could
said something.
you
I
could
felt
freaking
it.
ask Amanda, my wife Amanda. We were just talking about this today. That another video that I watched, they talked about, and I was going to actually say this for a whole other show because I found it to be really, really fascinating. So in 1980, there was a product that was released that changed the whole fucking ball game, and that was strawberry shortcake.
Wow. That's deep.
You didn't expect that, did you?
No, that is deep.
So here's what happened. I'm just going to give you the small and quick of it. Up to that point, there was no real crossover between toys and TV. That was the first time that they created an actual TV show for a toy that had been created. So that led to the focus of advertising being on what's called the tweeners, the teens, middle,
Oh, yeah,
between
yeah. I got you. I got
tweens. Okay. So that became like the Star Wars, the He-Mans, like all of that kind of shit. Okay.
you. Yeah.
Like all those toys became released in the 80s and early 90s. Okay.
Hmm.
So then about the late 90s, what happened was Disney said, well, wait a minute. Okay, it's great that we have toys and cartoons, but we need more. So what they did, they developed Hannah Montana. So Hannah Montana sparked the entire thing about what's called, do people watch entertainment because they aspire to be like the people on the TV, or do they, or you know, do, and basically what they were saying was that what Disney did, they started really focusing in on 12 or 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old girls. Because they figure if they got them, they get parents, then they get the boys, and they get. So what they started to do is they started creating programming that was about kids who lived in middle class houses that didn't have to ever like want for anything. They like the Huxtables, they had tons of things. They never had to struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I'm seeing this in my head, and you are
So,
so
so they're
freaking
talking
right.
about like Modern Family, which I love that show. But they said that the most complex problem they have on Modern Family is the family portrait going to turn out okay? Like they're not dealing with can they pay rent, can they do this? And that's what they were saying is like shows like Roseanne were were so appealing. Archie Bunker so appealing. The Jeffersons, Sanford and Son, because people could relate to them.
Yeah, that's what we need to get back to,
But
bro.
that's what's happened is that Hollywood has changed it to we want TV to be what you aspire. Like your life is shit, but watch our show and we'll bring you into a stable home that's got two SUVs in the driveway and dad's got a professional job and mom gets to go to and it's not like that. Shit's not like that.
No, it
That
ain't.
that's not reflective of reality.
No, it's not reality. And you know what's sick about this is back to the media thing is these producers and these companies, they can make all these shows and all these movies and all these sitcoms. But you know what? If the media doesn't agree with it, they don't have to show it. They do it for the publicity, and then we're fed it. That's all.
I'll tell you what, man. We are going to get into this deeper because, and I'm going to send you this article. It's a little video you can watch, but it's really fascinating because it started talking about start thinking about it. Around 2000, that's when kids started getting very materialistic. They wanted nicer clothes. They didn't want to settle for secondhand shit. They wanted to be a pop star. They wanted to be an Instagram influencer. Like all of these roles that they aspired to were things that were created on fucking Hannah Montana and all these, tween shows,
Yeah, bro. I just thought about something. Holly, do not let me forget this. I know this is live. I'm not saying this on the air because I have had so many ideas stolen before I could get them patented. I'm not saying this. But you just reminded me of something. You gave me an idea.
All right.
Perfect.
Dude, I got to tell you, we've been doing this show for about a month now. And a couple things I noticed about you. First of all, you love to play with that beard, like to finger that beard a lot. Now you're at the point where your hair's growing back and you're rubbing that hair a little bit.
I know. When it starts to grow back,
Yeah.
it just, I don't know, there's a feeling.
Shining up that old cue ball.
Yeah, I know. I want to let it all grow out.
Well, save that for the next show because we're at our 1 hour point, and we like to keep shows at about an hour. Just kind of gets people a little quickly here. So we're going to definitely do a show on Wednesday night for sure. And then next week we're going to talk about if we're going to do a show on Friday or Saturday or both.
Yeah.
So next weekend I'm dealing with my son's birthday. So I definitely want to make sure I give old Nichols plenty of time because he deserves it. He's a great kid. So Jason, I'll be back with you. But hey, we'll make all of our announcements next week. Thanks for jumping on for a late kind of a pull together show on a moment's notice, dude.
Yeah, man.
We were going to talk about college football. We didn't fucking get a chance to talk about any of that shit. But oh well.
Hey, Mama always said foosball was bad.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just check the scores. There's some big games and a couple teams that had some scares here. So
I was referencing
Waterboy.
Yeah.
Waterboy, I know. Anyway.
No, bro.
Dude.
People, for real. Jason knows nothing about football. That's why we didn't talk football. Rob wanted to talk football, but Jason knows no football.
That's right. Hey, buddy, I love you, man. You're the best, okay? I'm going to go ahead
Love
and
you,
shut it
dude.
down.
Love y'all.
Bye-bye. Welcome to the Two Bros Show. Here's your host, Rob Staggenborg, with co-host Jason Nichols. Let's go to the studio.
Whoa, baby!